What's up, everyone? So, as you know, I will just kind of randomly bring you some stuff as it comes up in my life. One, if you go back to the prepared and aware, I had an audition and I was dressed, so I took the opportunity to take some pictures, things like that. So, there's a few things that can be layered through here. But today, it is about liking a good fight. And the reason I get to that and mention the audition and all that is I just had to take an online test for job interviews, and they record you while you are answering these questions. It's a new thing, but that's where we're at. So, what they were asking in one of them, because they want to assess kind of your character sort of stuff, and it just says, I love a good fight. And then you have strongly disagree, disagree, neither disagree or agree, agree, strongly agree. I I like a good fight. I like a good fight when I see people better in their lives. That's a fight. I like a fight when I see people bettering their health, bettering their circumstance. And when I say health, I mean mind, body, and soul. If you are addressing behavioral issues, if you are addressing emotional, psychological, if you are overcoming sexual, if you are delving into winning the physical battle as far as exercising and eating better, I deem those all fights. And I like a good fight. Now, do I want to see two people in the street corner just knocking each other silly? No. But I also tend to understand why sometimes things get to those levels. And I would rather see a good fight than an easy shooting or an unnecessary stabbing. Does that get kind of to the heart of things? It's always a fight. There's always a fight. But I'd rather see that. I'd rather see somebody come into work dragging themselves in because they had other things that night that took their sleep time away and they fought to get there. That's a fight. Those are fights. The other things are violence. And those are things that we can really differentiate from. Do I want to see violence? No. And even, boxing, MMA sort of stuff. Okay, it's sport. But do I want to see violence? Not necessarily. But do I want to see a good fight? Yes. Do I want to see you do whatever it is that you are on your journey of right now that is a fight? And we've all got one. Whether you're trying to get out of some credit card debt, set back by medical or some sort of emergency, it's a fight. It's a fight because you have to now say, I have to budget in a certain way to kind of chip away at that. So you are fighting uphill to get back to just even ground sometimes. That's a fight. The people that are, again, fighting for their health, that's a fight. Whether it is through having, again, to pay for the medical, just going through it, psychologically knowing what sometimes terminal diagnoses can mean. Now we're fighting. And sometimes you're fighting a clock. In those cases, you're fighting the clock to say, I have to get all these things in order in case I don't survive for those I'm going to leave behind. That's a fight. And others are fighting with you. Those are fights. Just going and making a leap of faith for yourself at certain stages in life. I've done that. And that was a fight. That was a fight to have to say, I have to change. The fight was internal. And when I say fight, it's not always a bad thing, but it meant that I had to restructure what it was I was used to in order to take on something completely new. It's a fight, and it's a good fight. And when you come out on top, then you're in a different space. And if you don't win that fight, fight again. Don't stop fighting. Don't stop fighting to improve your place in life, not just so other people can say, wow, that's a nice house or car, but so you can look at you in the mirror and know, I'm doing everything possible. This is the best version of me right now, every day, every time I look in the mirror. I've made some level of improvement. And sometimes it doesn't have to be for other people to see, whether it's physically, weight loss, things like that. Read a book. Take up another language. Take up music, pottery, art, just anything that's going to improve who you are on a daily basis. Meditation, yoga, any of those things, cooking. There's so many things that we can do to self-educate and expand our awareness of not only the world around us, but of ourselves. And that's winning a fight. Because the fight sometimes is complacency, just to say, I'm good how I am. And a lot of people, you've just ended a fight, and so sometimes you need that little breather. That's fine. But fight again at some point. Find something else to fight about. So, yes, when I answered that, I do enjoy a good fight. I don't enjoy violence, and that's the difference. Playing football, playing rugby, having done martial arts, things like that, those all have components of violence to them. It's a little different, though. And have I been in that bar fight? Yes. As a idiot patron who drank too much, and as the bouncer who had to get rid of an idiot patron who drank too much. I've seen violence. I've lost family and friends to violence. I don't enjoy violence, but I enjoy a good fight. The people that I watched at wakes who lost people, they had to fight to be able to move on. They had to fight to carry on, because needless violence and lost lives so early, so young, is not an easy place to recover from. So I'm going to leave it at that. But I would really, really appreciate you guys leaving a fight that you've had to go through. Whether you won it, didn't win it, and again, sometimes the fail, first attempt in learning, but don't ever give up on the fight. Don't ever give up on the fight. It's all you have sometimes. And just that fighting spirit is enough. So I hope that I get the chance to be able to speak to whoever in a one-on-one interview to be able to explain what that means. That I'm not indifferent to violence. I abhor violence because it takes a toll on so many people other than just the two combatants. And oftentimes it is one person exercising extreme power over the other. So it's not even a fair fight, if you will. But I enjoy a good fight when I see people overcoming, when I see people have these stories to tell, how they've come back from homelessness, addiction, just a terrible divorce, a bad emotional space that they were in. Any of those things, they had to fight through those. You had to fight. So it's not just fists, it's not guns, it's not knives, it's not bats, it's not whatever else you can just think to use as a weapon of trauma upon somebody. It's overcoming the trauma. I know I could go on forever, and I would like to, but I think I've covered it, and I hope that this finds you guys in that place where you understand what I'm talking about, and you have your ace up the sleeve advice, comment, experience to leave in the chat. Subscriptions are free, and free is a good thing, especially when you fought to get your freedom. So share it. And as always, I hope this finds everybody in your place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. Oh, and I'll leave stuff for you to click on, so stick around.